about to read the Emerald Tablet, and for those of you who don't know, this is a very famous medieval period text that had to do with Hermeticism and alchemy and magic and natural philosophy, and the claim was that it is ancient, that it came from like the Hellenistic period in Greece. We don't know how old it actually is, but we do know that in the medieval period it was considered ancient, and the translation I'm going to read is made by someone named Isaac Newton. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but one word of warning is if you start searching the Emerald Tablet by Hermes Trismegistus on Google, you will find the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And Hermes and Thoth are like these equivalent gods. One is Greek, one is Egyptian, but the Emerald Tablets of Thoth is like this New Age, allegedly channeled text. It is not the same as the Emerald Tablet. This is an ancient document, even if it is only 1,000 or 2,000 years old. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth claim to be like 36,000 years old, and I don't have a lot of reason for taking them seriously, but this I do, so let's read. "'Tis true without lying, certain and most true. That which is below is like that which is above, and that which is above is like that which is below. To do the miracle of one only thing, and as all things have been and arose from one, by the mediation of one, so all things have their birth from this one thing by adaptation. The sun is its father, the moon its mother. The wind hath carried it in its belly, and the earth is its nurse. The father of all perfection in the whole world is here. Its force or power is entire, if it be converted into earth. Separate thou the earth from the fire, the subtle from the gross, sweetly, with great industry. It ascends from the earth to the heaven, and again it descends to the earth, and receives the force of things, superior and inferior. By this means you shall have the glory of the whole world, and thereby all obscurity shall fly from you. Its force is above all force, for it vanquishes every subtle thing and penetrates every solid thing. For was the world created, or so was the world created. From this are and do come admirable adaptations, whereof the means is here in this. Hence I am called Hermes Trismegistus, having the three parts of the philosophy of the whole world. That which I have said of the operation of the sun is accomplished and ended." So there was the Emerald Tablet in its entirety. There's a lot of symbolism in here. At the time especially, there was a lot of practices that would put hidden messages in their words. So this has been just torn apart by people trying to get the esoteric interpretation. Since I've shared a few hermetical texts on here, I feel like it's worth mentioning that I'm not presenting these to you as if they are divinely inspired, like the prophecy from Asclepius, this Emerald Tablet. I think there is truth in these things, don't get me wrong, and I think that as people actually spend time thinking about things and taking in the world around them, they get exposed to truth, and they try and translate that truth into language, and some has lasted the test of time and it's still with us. But I'm not presenting these to you as if they are a glimpse behind the curtain of reality. I'm also not saying that it doesn't show behind the curtain in any way, but I'm not trying to proselytize Hermeticism. This is a philosophical tradition, and a lot of Hermeticism and Platonism, also big fan of Plato, the ideas that those philosophers had about the all, about how reality is built, is where in the medieval period the church started to describe how God is. Because in the Bible, Yahweh in the Old Testament is not the same conceptualization as God, as omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. These ideas of what the all is, of what builds reality, of the first unmoved mover, those ideas are philosophies from people like Plato and Aristotle, and eventually Hermes, who may or may not have existed. But those were what the learned people knew of, and when the church was gaining power, it would explain things through the lens of these philosophers. You cannot choose your beliefs, but you can influence them. And however my life is played out, I have been influenced into believing the axiom, as above, so below, that we are the microcosm to the macrocosm. We are reflecting that which is all around us. Everything is connected. There's only one substance. And that is very hermetic. Everything is connected. Everything is built out of the one mind. Everything is alive. Everything only exists in relation to other things. Without other things, you can't exist. We're all fundamentally the same thing. That's very hermetic. I think they were onto something.